Hey there, mums and dads. Have you ever taken the time to explain to your kids why they should never drive or own a car without car insurance? This is super important, and in today's video, I'm going to share with you a letter I wrote to my kids explaining to them why car insurance is so important. Hey there, mums and dads. Welcome to day 11 of my 366-day journey to teach my kids everything they need to know about money. Now, today we're looking at the importance of insurance. Now, insurance is probably one of the most boring topics on earth, but it is important that we talk to our kids about this. So how do we make it interesting? Well, we make it interesting by sharing with them a real life example that they can relate to. And fortunately for me, we've just recently had a couple of natural disasters here in Australia that give me plenty of opportunity to talk to my kids about insurance in a way that is practical and relevant to them. So here is the letter I wrote to my kids. Hey kids, you know how I told you that some of the things I would teach you about money would be mind-numbingly boring? Well, insurance is one of these topics. There are always some topics that are going to be harder to connect with than others. But little did I know that there would be two significant natural disasters, bushfires and hailstorms, that would make talking to you about insurance so much easier. A couple of weeks ago, you shared with us, Holly, that one of your school friends, let's call him Lewis, has just bought himself a new $23,000 car, and later that same week, it became completely trashed. It was completely trashed by a massive hailstorm. And that the repair bill would be over $30,000 more than the car costs. Can you imagine if Lewis had to find that $30,000 himself, as well as continuing to pay the initial $23,000 loan to his parents? He simply would not be able to afford it. Fortunately, your Lewis had insurance on his car. Car insurance is simply the process where a company agrees to cover the cost of any damage to your car or damage caused by your car in exchange for you paying them a certain amount of money every year. The amount of money you pay to the insurance company is called a premium. The insurance company works out how much this premium should be based on factors like the value of the car, the age and gender of the driver, and the experience of the driver and where the owner lives. The riskier the insurance company believes it will be for them, the more expensive they make the premium. You can probably understand that from an insurance company's perspective, a young male inexperienced driver in a relatively expensive car is pretty much as risky as it gets. So the premiums Lewis needs to pay to the insurance company each year would be quite high. But it is a small cost to pay relative to the $30,000 Lewis would have had to find to get his car fixed. It is also important to note that the car insurance doesn't just cover the cost of the damage to the vehicles, it also covers the cost of medical costs should someone be injured. These sorts of costs can literally add up to millions if someone, for instance, has a spinal injury or a head injury. Kids, while no one likes to pay insurance, you should never own or drive a car without it. So as you work out when you can afford to buy a car, it is super important that you always also factor in the cost of insurance on that car. Love, Dad. So mums and dads, I know that, as I said, talking to our kids about insurance is boring, but the reason this is so important is that I have met so many young people who have had cars that have not been insured, and as a result, they now have car loans on cars they can no longer drive, and they found themselves in situations where they've been taken to court because they don't have insurance to cover the cost of damage to the other vehicle as well. This is not where we want our kids to be. It is really important that we take the time to tell them that they always need to have insurance on their car, preferably comprehensive insurance. And the reality is, if they can't afford to have insurance on their car, they can't afford to own a car. So these are discussions we need to be having with our kids. Now, here's some key points that I want you to take away from this, mums and dads. Firstly, accidents and natural disasters do happen. They are part of life. I discussed that in yesterday's video too. Insurance companies are a way of transferring the risks of owning and driving a car to an insurance company. In the event of an accident or natural disaster, the insurance company will fix or replace your car in exchange for you paying them a yearly premium. And insurance will also cover medical costs of people injured as a result of a car accident. And the last point we need to make here is that you should never own or drive a car without insurance. So make sure you factor it into your budget before buying a car. And to continue following my journey as I teach my kids everything they need to know about money over the next 12 months, please click on the subscribe button, my left, your right, click on that button, and together we can teach our kids everything they need to know about money so they can live their lives, pursue their dreams free of money worries.